No rational adult, no sane human being, no one with two working neurons and a functioning synapse, no one who has a rudimentary understanding and connection with reality or medical science or forensic pathology or the rudiments and Abecedarian aspects of obvious murder. No one, but no one, believes that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in the way that was delimited by the officials. No one. If you say so, if you say, yes, I believe so, you know nothing of the evidence. You know nothing about the forensic pathology aspects of the indicia of murder, homicide. Let me just say homicide. I'll explain this coming up. It's very, very simple. And this is not a conspiracy theory or anything like that. Believe me, this is the opposite. But first, I ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please hit that little bell so you'll be notified of live streams and new videos. And I'm telling you, subscribe, patronize our wonderful sponsors at mypillow.com. Promo code Lionel. I cannot endorse them enough for the quality, the care, the variety, and how they will add to the various contingencies of luxuriation that your life so desperately deserves. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Use promo code Lionel. Why is that important? Because you get a free gift. A free gift. Okay? MyPillow.com/Lionel. Do you know who Dr. Michael Baden is? You ever heard of him? He is perhaps one of the, if not the, preeminent forensic pathologists in the world. In the world. Not just in New York, where he served for years in the state police, where he was the forensic pathologist, the medical examiner of New York. I mean, his credentials go on forever. And when inspecting the cadaver, the body, the corpse of Mr. Epstein, in perhaps litigation or an investigation on behalf of his family, Mr. Epstein's family, he found a number of things which are very interesting. One, petechial hemorrhaging, little hemorrhages in the eye, right here, that normally accompany not a hanging, but in strangulation, anterior to posterior manual strangulation here. Strangulation. What else? A fractured hyoid bone. A hyoid bone, the hyoid, a most unique bone that basically is not connected to anything, that kind of floats. It's right under the mandible in the back. And you have to get in there to crack it. And it does not lend itself to fracture and the like during hanging. A fractured thyroid cartilage, livor mortis, lividity, and a variety, a veritable panoply of indicia, indications, and evidence of homicide. Now, a little background. There are actually five types of death. Now think of this little acronym, NASH, N-A-S-H. Natural, accidental, suicide, and homicide. And actually, there's a fifth one, unexplained, which kind of, I think, is self-evident. Natural. Was this a natural death? Grandma dies at home at 105. No. Accidental. Whoops. Hits his head, falls down. Nope. Suicide. Homicide. The death caused by another. In fact, did you know that during the death penalty, on the death sentence, on the death certificate, it reads cause of death, homicide. Did you ever hear the story of the man that he happened to be in prison with? This big hulking fellow? Did you ever hear that story? Who roughed him up? Did you ever hear who this fellow was, Tartaglione, as they say. This was the police officer from upstate New York who was looking at the death penalty, but all of a sudden he didn't get the death penalty anymore. How about that? Look at him. Listen and read to the prior problems he had before. Look at this. Now, I mean, do you want me to build a case? And the reason why I have to stop there, and the reason why I can't go any further, the reason why I, as an investigator, as a former prosecutor, as a lawyer, somebody with common sense would say, I want to pursue this. And the reason why is because I've got forensic evidence. I've got a forensic reason to pursue this, and I don't understand the story. There's so much about this story that just stinks. I don't understand it. None of it. Now, you can say whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. Let me just ask you this question. If the Department of Justice said that the sky was blue, if the Department of Justice said the Pope was Catholic, if the Department of Justice, this Department of Justice, that doesn't seem to care what Hunter Biden does, or Joe Biden, or the Biden family, this Justice Department, who through its leader, Merrick Garland, and then AG Bill Barr, hello, Bill Barr, by the way, who's looking at a nice post DOJ position, all right? He wants that corner office in a nice. He's not going to do anything right. He's not going to say anything crazy like, yeah, they whacked him. What? In federal custody. That's pretty smooth, though. See, they could have taken this dude out so many places prior to this. They flew him when he flew into Teterboro, they waited. He could have just disappeared. He could have just gone away. Oops. The whole story stinks. The Ghislaine Maxwell case. Remember that one? Remember when they found her at her manse? It's some huge estate with big windows. Remember that she was reading a book? Hello. They knock on the door. There she is. This woman, unprotected, unaccompanied. This woman who could have buried God knows how many people. And let me ask you the number one question. Listen to what I'm saying. The number one question regarding Epstein. The number one question. The question of questions of questions. Everything else is boring. Where are all of the tapes and recorders and videos and thumb drives and pictures and evidence of who was there with whom? A veritable trove, a treasure trove, an absolute, a honeypot, a blackmail, extortion, gold mine. This story stinks to high heaven. How many women were involved? How many cases were disposed of? What are we talking about? You were worried about a black book? That's nothing. But let's go back to this case. I'm not suggesting that Epstein didn't commit suicide because I just have this gut feeling and I love conspiracy theories. No. Listen to the testimony of Dr. Michael Baden. Listen to the testimony of Dr. Michael Baden, not me. I'm not basing this on any kind of hunch. I'm not reading some online crazy blog from some tin foil hatter. By the way, it's aluminum foil. We haven't used tin foil in years. They don't make it anymore. Like tin cans, but I digress. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm talking about the evidence that he has adduced. He even was on with, I think it was Dr. Oz, was it? I think. I mean, you just go online. There it is. Look at the particular hemorrhaging. Listen to what he's saying. People use this word choke and carotid restraint and hanging completely different. Look at Daniel Penny. They say he choked this subway miscreant. He didn't choke him at all. It was a carotid restraint. It was different. Now, if you want to pretend that you're willing or able to be opining on this subject, do a little rudimentary information. That's all. And you know, and I know, he didn't whack himself. But you know what's going to happen with this case? Nothing. Just like everything else. Nothing. Who cares, right? He's dead. He's done. Whatever. But they're good in federal custody. Wow. That takes some class. What a flash, what a panache that was. All right, friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And don't forget our great sponsor, mypillow.com. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Wonderful. Free gift they give you. And by the way, they sell more slippers than you can imagine. Thank you so much. Now all right, all you sleuths, all you Quincy wannabes, it's time for you to comment as you see fit.